Hello everyone, today I will present my work titled Foucault's Biopolitics in the Age of Wearable Technology. In this presentation, I will focus on the real-world implications of Foucault's idea and discuss how modern health tracking devices such as smartwatches, fitness bracelets, rings can be understood through Foucault's concept of biopolitics. My main point is that these technologies are not only neutral tools for health, they also create new forms of control. My presentation will have 5 parts. First of all, I will introduce the topic and explain why health tracking can be seen as a political question. Then I will give background information about Foucault's ideas of biopolitics. After that, I will present my main thesis statement. So, usually we think about wearable technology in a very positive way. For example, smartwatches and fitness trackers help people count their steps, monitor their sleeps, check their heart rates, and understand their health better. This is a common view. Wearables give us self-knowledge and fitness goals feel personal and voluntary. For example, when my watch tells me to walk more or sleep better, I will take it like useful advice. But my project asks a more critical question. What if these same devices also train people to monitor, compare, and normalize their bodies? So to answer this question, I use Michel Foucault's concept of biopolitics. Foucault explains that all the forms of power were based on sovereign power. Sovereign power worked through the right to take life or let live. This means that power was visible, direct, and often violent. It appeared through law, punishment, execution, and physical force. But modern power works differently. Foucault calls this new form of power biopolitics, of the power to make live and let die. Biopolitics is not mainly about killing or punishing, instead, it works by managing life itself. It focuses on health, populations, productivity, statistics, and normalization. So modern power often appears as a care. My thesis is that wearable health technologies and corporate wellness programs can be understood as modern forms of biopolitics. They transform the human body into measurable data. They encourage people to monitor themselves and they create standards of what counts as a healthy, productive, and valuable person. So my argument is not that wearables are completely bad. They can be helpful, but they are also political because they change how people understand their bodies and how institutions evaluate people. Uh, my first argument is that wearable technology transforms the body into data. The body is no longer understood only through personal feeling or medical experience. Instead, it becomes something recorded and stored. Steps, calories, sleep, heart rates, blood oxygen, and activity levels. This seems neutral because numbers look objective, but once the body is measured, it can also be compared. For example, my sleep score can be compared to an ideal sleep score, or whole population can be ranked according to the health data. Foucault argues that modern power works through statistics and population level knowledge. Wearables continue this logic by making the body constantly visible like data. So my second argument is that wearable technology creates self-surveillance, but it feels voluntary. The device does not punish us to directly, it does not force us to move. Instead, it reminds, vibrates, and compares. For example, it tells us to reach 10,000 steps or sleep of 8 hours. The important point is that people buy these devices willingly. However, after buying them, they often begin to regulate their bodies according to algorithms. This is how Foucault said biopower was without question an indispensable element in the capitalism. So the individuals start to watch themselves. The person becomes the subject being monitored. Control becomes soft, friendly, and hidden inside everyday routines. So here my third argument. My third argument is that corporate wellness programs turn health into economic value. When biometric data enters the workplace or insurance system, private biological life becomes part of economic life. Employers may use wellness scores, bonuses, and productivity programs. Insurers may use health data for risk calculation or premiums, and so on. The employee or user may share their data to receive rewards or avoid penalties. For example, someone may agree to share step count or sleep data because it gives them a discount or a bonus. So this shows that health becomes more than personal well-being. It becomes connected to financial reward and punishment. Through Foucault's biopolitics, this makes sense because modern power wants to optimize life. It wants bodies to be healthier, more productive, and maybe less costly for institutions. So here is my fourth argument. Yeah, my fourth argument is that normalization can create exclusion. Wearable technologies and algorithms create standards for what a good body should look like. The optimized body is transparent, trackable, healthy according to metrics, and rewarded through incentives. This body is read as responsible and productive. What about unoptimized body? The unoptimized body may include disabled people, chronically ill people, or people who simply do not want to be constantly tracked. These people may be seen as risky, unhealthy, or expensive. This connects directly to Foucault's idea because biopolitics works through the division between normal and abnormal. So normalization does not affect everyone equally. Here is my fifth argument. My fifth argument is that consent is not always free. It seems that the user makes a free choice. They buy the device, accept the terms of service, and agree to share the data. From the first glance, it looks like a personal choice. However, here the real question is, what happens if the user refuses? If refusing to share data means losing insurance discounts, bonuses, and some choices, it becomes pressured by economic and social conditions. So, to conclude, I'm not arguing that wearable technologies are useless things or harmful. They can help people to understand their health better, improve their habits, and notice important body signals and changes. However, they can also turn the body into a governed and optimized object. They do not only produce data, they also produce norms. They do not only offer choice, they also reflect unequal power between individuals, corporations, and employers and employees. Through Foucault's concept of biopolitics, we can see that modern power often appears as a care. Thank you.